The joint military exercises between the Philippines and Australia have drawn intense international attention, especially as tensions in the South China Sea continue to escalate. These large-scale war games, considered one of the most extensive in Philippine history, are not only a display of alliance strength but also a clear message directed toward regional powers, particularly China. For the Philippines, this is a demonstration of its readiness to safeguard its sovereignty and its commitment to building a stronger regional defense posture. For Australia, it is a chance to deepen security cooperation with a key Southeast Asian partner and ensure its role in Indo-Pacific stability. The exercises involve a wide array of land, air, and naval components. Thousands of troops from both nations have been deployed across different locations in Luzon, Palawan, and even areas near the disputed waters. These drills include amphibious landings, live-fire exercises, urban warfare simulations, air combat maneuvers, and naval patrols designed to enhance interoperability between the Philippine and Australian armed forces. Such coordination is vital, as future conflicts in the Indo-Pacific are expected to require coalition efforts rather than unilateral operations. From a defense perspective, these war games carry both tactical and strategic importance. On the tactical level, the drills allow Philippine forces to learn from Australia's advanced military practices and technology, especially in areas such as surveillance, intelligence sharing, and joint maritime security operations. The armed forces of the Philippines, while improving steadily in modernization, still lags behind many regional militaries in terms of high-end warfighting capability. By working closely with Australia, the Philippines can bridge gaps in readiness and enhance its capacity to deter aggression. On the strategic level, the exercises are a message of deterrence. China has been steadily expanding its footprint in the South China Sea, building artificial islands and militarizing features that lie within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. Each year, Chinese vessels harass Philippine fishermen and military patrols. These actions have forced Manila to strengthen defense ties with its allies. The presence of Australian forces alongside Filipino troops underscores the growing international support for the Philippines and the principle of freedom of navigation in the region. The scale of this year's exercises is also significant. Unlike past drills that were limited in scope, this event includes large contingents of armored vehicles, artillery, fighter aircraft, and naval warships. The inclusion of complex training scenarios, such as joint amphibious assaults and simulated island recapture missions, clearly mirrors the types of conflicts that could arise in the South China Sea. Military analysts point out that these drills are designed to replicate real-world challenges, where contested islands and maritime choke points are likely to be flashpoints. For the Philippine military, this is also an opportunity to test its modernization projects. New assets such as Fa-50 fighter jets, missile-capable frigates, and advanced artillery systems are being integrated into exercises for the first time. These platforms, though still limited in number, represent a shift from a purely internal security-oriented force toward one capable of external defense. The participation of these assets alongside Australian platforms, including amphibious ships and surveillance aircraft, provides a glimpse of how a coalition force might operate in a real crisis scenario. The geopolitical implications cannot be ignored. China has expressed concern and, at times, outright hostility toward this joint exercises, accusing them of destabilizing the region. However, the Philippines and Australia argue that these drills are defensive in nature and are meant to strengthen cooperation, readiness, and humanitarian assistance capabilities. Beyond military aspects, the exercises also include disaster response and humanitarian operations, showcasing the dual role of armed forces in both security and civilian missions. The Philippines, under its current security strategy, has been expanding ties not only with Australia but also with the United States, Japan, and other like-minded nations. These exercises with Australia fit into a broader pattern of multilateral security cooperation, signaling that the Philippines is no longer standing alone in confronting regional challenges. For Australia, participation is equally strategic. It allows Canberra to project power beyond its shores, reassure allies, and reinforce its role as a security partner in Southeast Asia. Public reaction in the Philippines has been generally supportive, with many citizens viewing these war games as a necessary step in asserting national sovereignty. For years, Filipinos have been frustrated by Chinese incursions and the seeming inability of their government to respond effectively. Seeing their military engage in exercises with a technologically advanced ally boosts morale and confidence. At the same time, there are domestic voices urging caution, warning that such exercises could escalate tensions with China and impact economic relations. From a defense review standpoint, one must assess both the strengths and limitations of these drills. On the positive side, they provide invaluable experience in coalition warfare, strengthen deterrence, and help modernize the Philippine armed forces. They also demonstrate a clear political will to defend national interests. On the downside, the Philippines still faces long-term challenges such as budget constraints, slow procurement processes, and limited defense industry capabilities. War games can enhance readiness, but they cannot substitute for sustained investment in military modernization. Looking ahead, these exercises set the stage for deeper defense ties between the Philippines and Australia. There are already discussions about expanding future drills to include Japan, the United States, and other regional partners, potentially transforming them into multilateral operations. This would further strengthen the Philippines' security architecture and make it harder for China to isolate Manila. In conclusion, the massive joint war games between the Philippines and Australia are a landmark moment in regional defense cooperation. They symbolize not only military partnership but also a collective stance for freedom of navigation, sovereignty, and regional stability. For China, these exercises are a clear signal that its assertive behavior will not go unchallenged. For the Philippines, they are a step toward building a credible defense posture, ensuring that the nation is not left vulnerable in the face of rising tensions. And for the broader Indo-Pacific, they represent a growing network of alliances determined to preserve peace through strength.